I was watching this thing about frequency and energy, and I think about things that I've heard. Pretty much everything is what you heard. I haven't done any tests with energy and things, but well, I guess I have, but you don't really realize that you're doing it. Like using batteries and electricity and wiring circuits and things like that. I suppose are testing for myself. I mean, people set the tests up, the parameters of the test for you, and then you run it with the things that they provide for you to use in the test. The wires, even the procedure that you're going to go with. But I'm seeing things on the internet that are saying, like, there's different ways. This is not a correct way, not the intended way, or the optimal way, I guess would be the best way to say it, for general usage of energy. Things that everyone could do with no expenditure, just using it, are all hidden from us. And ways that aren't good in nurturing or working with the energy are promoted. So like a battery, this is coming into my mind, nobody told me this part. A battery is, well, I kind of did get a hint at this, but that's a whole big long subject. Anyways, a battery is holding the energy in a state that we say that we can use at a later date, but really it's like a prison for the energy. The energy is unable to move and be utilized by its surroundings. You know, it's in this container, and we say that energy can't be destroyed, and I would say that implies that energy is what it is. You know, everything is energy, and there's not getting to be more energy or less energy. It's just the energy that's here and the way that it's being used. Energy to create all these trees and the moisture in the air and things like that, you know. Me, the dogs, everything is energy. And we don't need to, you see, if you break it down too much, this just popped in my head. If you break all this stuff down too much, then you get to be this energy cloud. And I guess that's what we're getting away from, is we don't want to be, well, it doesn't matter what we want, but we enjoy forgetting that we're the energy cloud, that we're the only thing that there is. But you know, everything is relative, so if we're the only thing that there is, what if you took a step back from us? Where are we? What are we? It would be a deeper pool. You could say that we're in a bubble at the bottom of the sea, but that's a part of a bigger expanse, you know. We're like the building blocks. We're like the atoms swirling around inside something else. So it's a big giant cycle. I don't even think our purpose is to understand it in this way. I think that I'm lost. But maybe that's just the self-doubt that's naturally programmed in there. You like to run here, huh? Let's go get cool. He's standing there going, what the fuck? Stay away from me. We gotta figure out Tartaria. They're holding us back. We're being used. It's weird that I would be in that scenario. Like I'm worried about that. And then as I'm living this life of don't own me, you can't own me, I'm free. I start to realize that I'm both sides. I'm the whole thing. I'm telling a story. But with puppets and things. And the individual puppets don't know the whole story because they don't even need to know their language, their lines. They're like robots. Intricate robots. We think of metal and things like that as something that we need for creating a robot. But then that makes it heavy and it has to lift up the weight, so it needs a bigger muscle. The bigger muscles, hydraulics and things, need a sturdier frame so it gets even heavier. We have to find the sweet spot of how big of a machine it needs to be to even move a machine that as big as it needs to be. But a human body isn't as strong as metal. It'll break. But we look at ways to replace the things that break. Some of it you can and some of it you can't. Maybe it's all something that you can replace. It's just the writing of the story. These are just thoughts. I'm not telling you the answer to life because the more I talk about it, the less I understand the point, or the more I see that there is no point. Come on. It's not the reason, I don't think. I think that's what's coming into my mind, is figuring this out is not the reason I'm here, unless I make that the reason I'm here. But it's a really large problem. I don't know. If you were to judge yourself, I guess you could take pride and find enjoyment in reaching the goals. I doubt that most, if anyone, will reach all of the goals. Maybe they do, and eventually. It seems like the soul trap thing is a selfish idea of you're experiencing the universe But it's kind of self-defeating also, because it's like you don't have a choice. Somebody is tricking you or whatever. Well, this thing is so low now. Who's up there? Yeah, so really cold today, but I'm not cold now because I've been talking and thinking about stuff. And now that I kind of take a mental session of the condition of my body, I can feel the frost on my face, but my face is nice and warm. Maybe I got frostbite, who knows. My feet are nice and warm. Everything's just perfectly comfortable. My fingers are a little bit sore from holding the phone, but none of them are cold and numb. It's a interesting sensation. I used to have teeth, and I used to have a lot of problems with them because when I was younger, I had major dental work, which I almost think was like planned. Like I wasn't held back enough because I was following through the system, but I wasn't like lost in any of these negative things. I was just not getting the programming. So I think they put me into that to kind of try to make me something. But I don't know, people, this is just a story that I guess I created. But people in this story tell me that, oh, you seem like an old soul, and I don't know their credentials. But why would somebody say that if they didn't feel like they were qualified? I mean, what makes you think something like that? But anyways, that's like saying that I've been here before. I don't doubt it. I think we've all been here before, but maybe I have some kind of aura where I miss some of the deconstruction of the past memories or feelings. Maybe it's not even thought of as a memory where we come from. They're all just feelings and emotions, and I'm in tune with those, and I can feel those, but I don't understand them because I'm brought up in a tangible puppet reality. I don't know. I think about a lot of times totally different concepts, and I don't think I ever successfully do it, but maybe I do. But everything just seems like, well, that's stupid. Why would it be like that? And it's only because it's not the way that we know of it to be right now, you know? I know I have a body and this and that, but it's all so easy to pick apart. Yeah, you have to participate in it. Makes me think, you know. I want to say this to everybody else. Try to imagine scenarios where you win, but nobody else loses. Do those kind of scenarios. Put those into the world. And then, if we all could have that kind of experience, then everybody would be more happy. You might not have the experience of torturing somebody else, but you have all of the things that are equal to and better than that experience. And then somebody else doesn't have to go through that experience. Somebody else going through that experience gives you the possibility of going through that on their side, on the side that they're on right now. You could be on that side later on. You creating that. If you create an area where that kind of thing doesn't and cannot, or just doesn't go on, then you have a more comfortable life and everything is better. But is it? Maybe maybe we need the conflict to be able to survive. Maybe that's all that we think is the thing we have to do is survive and not experience. But I think that would be wrong. We should be experiencing, and surviving is just something that happens. Because what if you didn't ever go anywhere? What if you're always here? You're always here. You can't go anywhere. It's like playing a video game and just having fun. While you can play a video game to beat it and get to the end, and then once you do what you think you're done, well, you still have the video game, and it's the only one you got, so you're gonna have to play it again, but you already beat it, so now all you could do is just go to the higher level. But then eventually you feel like you can't get any higher, and then you start playing the game for other reasons. Whichever one you think is the best is the best. I don't know. I'm just thinking about this stuff. I'm not telling you to be away. Well, actually, I guess I am. I wish everybody would just live by the golden rule, and it'd be easier for me to try to do it. I have this ego that makes me see other people not doing it right, and it makes me feel like, I guess it's peer pressure, where I can not do it right too, and nobody can say anything because that guy over there is doing it wrong. That lady over there is doing it wrong. Those people over there are doing it wrong. Everybody's doing it wrong. How the fuck can you come to me and say that I'm doing it wrong when you're doing it wrong too? Shut the fuck up.